Hey everybody, it's time to swing. We're still swinging, and I'm your host, Thomas. And today, look, family, I'm telling you, Jay-Z is innocent. Okay? And I got a question. Like, yo, I saw all the smoke that Jaguar Wrights and the likes of Jaguar Wrights had for Jay-Z. But bro, I don't hear anything. I don't hear anything. And family, I want to talk about last night, about my live that I had last night. Where family, I apologize to you, family, because I got in my feelings. I got in my emotions. And let me explain to you why. Let me explain to you why I got in my feelings last night and did that on the live. Because first of all, family, when I was doing my research, right? And if you know me, you know I researched it all the way up until it was time for the live. And right before I went live, if you know me, don't nobody grind my gears like Jaguar Wright. Okay? And I had to sit through some of I'm gonna play for you what I had to sit through before I went on live. And then, family, that accuser sitting down talking to the interview of that accuser, family, I wanted to make sure I went through it with y'all. And after just listening to Jaguar Wright, I was in a bad mood. All right, already, because I'm a black man. All right, and I know what those words mean. That be she just spew out of her mouth at will. All right, and if you know me, you know nobody grind my gears like Jaguar Wright. Then I had to sit through that interview with y'all, and I had to realize the way anybody can get just come and say anything about a black man, and everybody just believe it. Like, bro, they tried to destroy that man's life, and did you see what they thought they could destroy a billionaire with? Bro, this brother is a mogul. Look what they brought to destroy a mogul. This bullshit. They really thought that that could work. Let me tell you why. Because they don't have no faith in us. They understand the kind of people we are. All right? Where the losers overwhelm the winners. The losers hate the winners. That's why those men get hated. I mean, just hate it. Even if they never done shit to you, they just hate them. And they bring us these stories. Let's get into it, family. Hold up. Shout out to the chat, family. Shout out to the chat. Shank at the door. Good question. Yeah. Salute, Shank. Thanks for pulling up. Appreciate your support. You know I do. L Blitz. She's somewhere aligned. I know she is, bro. Shout out, bro, and thanks for pulling up. But anyway, family, that's how I got in my feelings last night. I didn't see that interview until I was watching it with y'all, and I had just finished watching Jaguar, right? And I didn't realize that I needed to watch that before I watched it with y'all. So without further ado, family, let's get the program started.
Now to some of the big legal cases we are following in this week's Burden of Proof. Civil rights attorney Ariva Martin joins me to break some of these down. Ariva, good to see you. Thanks for being here on this weekend. Hip-hop mogul Jay-Z facing a rape allegation. Sean Carter, his real name, is doubling down against his accuser, saying she's looking for money and fame, releasing a new statement overnight calling for the claims to be actually dismissed. What are you watching for in this case?
Well, Sean Carter, Jay-Z has good reason to ask for this case to be dismissed. The accuser came out and did an interview. Now, we didn't get to see her face. We didn't get to learn her name. But in the interview, she gave some statements that were inconsistent with the statements that, or the accusations, I should say, that are made in her lawsuit. And it does raise serious questions about the credibility of this accuser. One of the things that stood out to me, Phil, was her father. Her father was also contacted by the news media because in her interview, she says her dad picked her up from Sean Diddy Combs' home after the rape. She said that occurred after, she said, Jay-Z and Sean Combs raped her. Her dad said he had no recollection of this incident. And clearly a dad, as he said, would remember something this serious, this egregious. So I think there are some serious questions that need to be answered.
All right, I heard a story last night, family, right? Where this lawyer said that he just didn't properly vet her. Okay, trust me, the lawyer didn't vet her at all. I wouldn't even be surprised if he put her up to this story. All right, family, look, I just didn't see how a lawsuit like this, I mean, I get it. You could file a suit against anybody. You understand? But bro, they was trying to destroy this man with this. All right. And bro, it ain't like it was hard to get this information. All right. All a lawyer had to do was talk to her father, who was supposed to have been a witness. And that's your job as the lawyer. And that's your job to talk to her father. Her father would have told you the same thing.
Answered, and the way you get those questions answered when you are a defendant in a lawsuit is by filing the kind of motion that I anticipate we'll see filed by Jay-Z's law firm, because there are questions about the credibility of this accuser.
Fair enough. So let's...
Family, of course, there's questions about the credibility of the accuser. Family, the lawyer, right? He's supposed to vet his client, right? So the lawyer said her father was a witness. Now the lawyer saying he ain't properly vet the client, right? But the client told you her father was a witness. So you telling me you didn't talk to her father? So her father didn't tell you? Listen, my daughter never told me nothing like this. I don't remember this situation. You really want me to believe you as the attorney told you this, your client told you that her dad was a witness and you didn't go talk to him? Yeah, right. It was a money play the whole time, family.
I go over to Sean Diddy Combs. He's facing some new rape allegations from 3 more men. According to new civil lawsuits, the men say Diddy sexually assaulted them between 2019 and 2022. So these are more recent.
Listen, I don't really want to get into Diddy, right? But let's just stay here with Jay-Z, all right? But family, just the interview of the accuser.
You should always advocate for yourself and be a voice for yourself. You should never let what somebody else did ruin or run your life.
A 38-year-old mother from Alabama who has filed a lawsuit accusing Sean Diddy Combs and Jay-Z of raping her when she was 13 years old is speaking out to NBC News for the first time. She asked us not to reveal her identity.
What made you want to come forward and talk today?
Because I think that I've been quiet long enough about what I've been through, and it's been hard enough to be quiet. But it's a chapter of my life that I'd like to close.
An NBC News review of her account found inconsistencies with her allegations. She says that she went to the MTV Video Music Awards in 2000 to catch a glimpse of her favorite celebrities.
You weren't scared to be all alone?
No,
Now, family, let's not forget, okay? This is a 13-year-old girl with autism who said that she hopped in a car with one of her friends who didn't have a problem taking a 13-year-old who has autism on hours drive away to Radio City Music Hall by herself and just dropped her off. Nobody had a problem with that. And then her dad came and picked her up after this incident and then just didn't ask her any questions. Family, this was in the report, okay, that was filed against that brother.
having autism is like feeling like you live your life in a shatterproof juggle ball. The world's on fire. The fire is inside the ball with you, but there's no way for you to get out.
Family, I did the video a while back I knew this never happened when I read the report, because listen, they made sure that it's impossible to be able to check anything about this story. Okay, if you read the report, you know it was no way you could just believe this story unless you wanted to believe it, right? Because listen to the evidence, family. The evidence that they had was this. Okay, this happened to her. And the only evidence that this happened to her, this happened 25 years ago, was some gas station attendant saw her disoriented 25 years ago. And then she called her dad and he came and picked her up. Okay, soon as I read the report, I know this is nonsense because this was 25 years ago. You're not going to find that gas station employee. And just by any chance, if you do find him, he's not going to remember this incident. It's not like an investigation was done and the officers came and followed up with some detective work and questioned him. They never bothered to report it. She never said nothing about it. Okay, so this gas station attendant will have no clue of what might have she said might have happened to her. So there's no way to check that. And now you saying her father picked her up. All right, and you're not going to get me to believe she told no story like that to her father and he didn't drive her straight to the police station or go get his people and go see them. You're not going to convince me of that. So when I read that report, I knew they made it up. And then I saw the attorney who was filing this report. And I know he a sleazebag. He got 20 ladies against Diddy already. And then once I saw the play, I understood that lawsuit was never aimed at Puff. It was never aimed at Diddy. At the whole time, this lawsuit was aimed at Jay-Z. Because this dude knows 300 lawsuits against Diddy. And he know the chances of him seeing any money anytime soon, if ever. Okay, but with Jay-Z, he saw a play where he could get a bag for Christmas. Okay, he knew the position that Jay-Z in. All right, Jay-Z cannot afford these allegations because of what just happened to Diddy. A lot of the people that sponsor Diddy, they sponsor Jay-Z. Okay, they already looking at him funny because listen, family, he is close to Diddy. All right, in the eyes of the people. They hear the rumbling going on amongst the people that he with Diddy. But they got a lot of money invested in this guy. Okay, but they got to protect their brands regardless. But they invested a lot of money with this guy and they making a lot of money with Jay-Z. Jay-Z knew he couldn't afford these allegations right now. Okay, this lawyer was banking on that. When he shot that complaint against Diddy, the whole time his aim was Jay-Z. It was never Diddy. That's why he left the co-conspirators unnamed. He left the co-conspirators unnamed because his play the whole time was to extort Jay. All right, he shot that letter to Jay after he filed that complaint. That letter said, look, if you pay me, I won't put your name on this complaint. If you don't pay me, I'm going to put your name on this complaint. But if you pay me, I won't put your name on this complaint. And nobody will never know you paid me. We'll keep it quiet. That's the same thing they told Diddy about that tape. The second Diddy paid, that tape came straight out. My bad, family.
In addition to having autism, the woman says she suffered a head injury. The night of the
1 second, family. Shout out to the chat. We're going to keep it moving. My bad. Shank Rock said right. Shank Rock said exactly. All right, we back on it, family. Yeah. So family, if you listen to this story, right? It was just no way. You ain't come up with the conclusion that this lawyer was plotted this. He needed a bag for Christmas. All right. He never thought Jay-Z would buck. He never thought for 1 second Jay-Z would buck because he knew all of Jay-Z lawyers was advising him to settle. Settle because, bro, you can't have this right now. You don't need this right now. But that was the same thing they was telling Diddy. That was the same thing they was telling Diddy. Jay-Z knew History would repeat itself real quick if he paid that money. That lawyer would have doubled up on the bag. He would have sold the story that Jay-Z just paid that money. And just like Diddy, by the morning, it would have been a line wrapped around Target of people lined up talking about Jay-Z did something to them, trying to sue him because they heard he just gave somebody all this money. Okay, this lawyer knew Jay-Z needed to avoid that at all costs. This lawyer knew Jay-Z lawyers was going to advise him to settle. But Jay knew that the minute he settled, that lawyer would double up on that bag and sell the story. Because if Jay-Z thought he could just pay and this would go away, even though he know this never happened, he would have paid. You know how many celebrities just paid? He couldn't afford to do that, family. He had to stand up. He had to stand up. Everything was at stake, more than you know. More than you know, family, was at stake for that man. That man was just fighting for his life. Like you never know somebody was fighting for their life over some bullshit that this chick right here just was talking about, family.
Thousands VMAs, she says a friend drove her from Rochester, New York to Manhattan, a more than 5-hour drive. Her attorney provided NBC News with the name of the friend who has since died. The woman says she spoke to Combs's limo driver who offered her a ride to an after party.
I stumbled upon Diddy's driver who told me that I was exactly what Diddy was looking for.
What did you think when he said that to you?
I thought it meant that I was just pretty.
Family, you think they could bring a story like this? Think they could bring a story like this from this person and try to take down a white mogul billionaire? Do you think anybody would have paid this any mind? Do you think they would have bought this $5 piece of trash to try to take down a $1 billion hitter if he was white? That's what they think of us.
Went to a White House, she says, where she spoke to musicians Benji Madden and his brother.
I'm talking to Benji Madden about his tattoo because, I have about his tattoo. That's the Last Supper.
You really had to do your homework on some people to know you could bring some bullshit like this to them and get it off about one of their best and brightest in the industry. All right, listen, you've been online. You seen the charge against that man over some allegations from this trash.
Because I have a religious background, so it was just something to talk about.
In a statement to NBC News, a representative of the Maddens confirmed that they did not attend the 2000 VMAs and that they were on tour in the Midwest at the time. At the after party, she says she had a drink that made her feel woozy. Then she says Combs.
Family, you mean to tell me the lawyer didn't check none of this story out? Because from what the lawyer is saying, it was a mistake. He didn't properly vet the client. That's nonsense. Family, if you're the lawyer, right, your client just told you that a father was a witness. Now, I'm the lawyer. You know how easy it is to get in touch with her father? To just call him. The lawyer would have just called her father. Her father would have told him he don't recall this incident like he told everybody else. This is not an incident I would have forgot. You think the lawyer never worried about none of that because none of that meant nothing. He was going to squeeze this brother. He knew the situation this brother was in. He knew this brother couldn't afford this lawsuit. He planned on getting his bag for Christmas. When Jay-Z bucked, he got pissed. Now he gonna have him fighting for his life because that N-word should have just paid like they always do. All right, he was banking on this bag for Christmas. Yeah, that sleaze bag lawyer. All right, you believe for 1 second he didn't call and talk to this girl's father? And this girl told this lawyer her father was a witness? God damn it, that's his job. He been doing it for 30 years. You think he that incompetent that he didn't call her father? This was a play. If you read that report, you knew it was a play. But you see all those people online, they ain't give a damn. They hated him. That's how much they needed to bring him down. Why? Because we got a community that hate the winners. And who hate winners? Losers.
and Carter took turns raping her while a female celebrity watched.
JC comes in and rapes me. He at that point I was fighting, trying to get away from him, and he put his hand over my mouth and told me to stop it, cut the
Family, this where I got pissed off last night and ended the live. Because family, remember, I had watched this with y'all. I wanted to save it so I could make sure I watched it with y'all. I had no idea the level that this was going to piss me off on. Family, they'll come and say this about the best and brightest of all men in the industry, and people would just believe it. Nothing else but she just said it. Bro, they was trying to destroy him, a billion-dollar mogul, with this $5 piece of trash. They would have never bought her to try to thought that they could get that off on a white man. They would have never paid her no mind. Why did they bring that to us, family? Because we'll go for this. History proved to them time and time again that we got a community of losers and they hate the winners.
After the alleged rape, she says she ran to a gas station where she called her father, who picked her up and drove her home.
We rode home in silence. He didn't ask me what happened. He didn't ask me what I did or where I was.
In an interview with NBC News, her father said he could not verify the claims. Quote, "I felt like I would remember that, and I don't. I have a lot going on, but I mean, that's..."
My bad, family. I get caught up in this because, yeah, I get a little charged about it. But if you're not subscribed, make sure you subscribe to the channel, family. Hit that like button for me. Y'all see I'm struggle streaming, but y'all know I be bringing it.
"Something that would definitely stick in my mind," he said. When we asked the woman about the contradictions in a phone interview on Friday, she said that she stands by her statements. "I have made some mistakes," she said. "Honestly, what is the clearest?"
You know why she stand by her statements, family? You know why she stand by her statements? Because one thing that this land we live in of America taught her, that if you as a white woman make an allegation against a black man, you automatically won. Listen, the last thing you want to be is a black man in America and got to defend yourself in court against something a white woman said you done. If Jonathan Majors didn't prove that to you, I don't know what it's going to take. Listen, if you think they're going to just drop this because of this interview, listen, they can't do that. That's not how you protect the status quo. It's set up that a white woman word is law whenever it comes to something she said about an N-word. You do not want to be a black man in America and gotta go to court and defend yourself against something a white woman said you done. Absolutely not. That's why she can stick to this. She can stick to this because she know no matter what she said, that nigga done it.
This is what happened to me. The inconsistencies in her account of an incident alleged to have happened 24 years ago does not necessarily mean the allegations are false. The accuser's attorney, Tony Busby, said, "Because we have interrogated her intensely..."
Look at this sleaze bag. Don't he just look like, even though he got on a really nice suit, he just looked like he's standing on a corner in a cheap shirt, in a cheap suit, eating a cheeseburger, waiting for an ambulance to roll by so he could throw that hamburger down and chase it. All right, look, he looked just like one of those guys, that sleazy bastard. All right, his job right now is squeezing brothers.
She has even agreed to submit to a polygraph. This has been extremely distressing for her, to the point she has experienced seizures and had to seek medical treatment due to the stress.
Yeah, she had to seek medical treatment during the stress, and she can't go through with the polygraph, all right, because she telling a goddamn lie. Okay? Okay, she telling a goddamn lie. But her lie supported by our sisters like this.
I want you to think about this. Sean Carter is responsible for enacting Hype Williams to put Aaliyah on a faulty plane to move her out the way as punishment for rejecting him, and so he could level up Beyonce, who was struggling. Let's just say allegedly that happened. Now I want you to think about 106th and Park with Mary J. Blige.
No, who was struggling was you, bitch. Hey, I'm telling you right now, look in her comments. She don't have no proof of none of this shit. She just say it. Go to her comments. Bro, they talking like this shit is law. Like this really happened. This the gospel. They the kind of women. Bro, let me explain to you the Jaguar rights of the world. They the women that these kind of men never paid no damn mind. That's our problem with these men. You see these successful, handsome, dapper men never pay her no damn attention. That's her problem. Her problem with all the beautiful women, she not one of them. So she hate them. And she got a cult of women who just like her. I stand in front of them at the register at Walmart, and I see that look on their face when they see this tall, fly dude with this fine, sexy, slim chick next to me. And they got that look on their face like they would tell me, nigga, you think you all that. Because that's what's on their mind. I represent that nigga that never pay her no mind. He got a whole slew of them. And they Jaguar rights. That's why he did it. Yeah, he did it. Nigga never paid me no mind. Fuck him. And I gotta listen to this. This trash. This a piece of trash. She came and brought this against our multi-billion-dollar mogul and tried to bring him down. If he was white, do you think they would have listened to a story like that from this?
In a statement to NBC News, Sean Carter said this incident didn't happen, and yet he
Proof, Jaguar ball. The world's on fire. The fire is inside the ball with you, but there's no way for you to get out.
In addition to having autism, the woman says she suffered a head injury. The night of the 2000s VMA
family, they took this from her to try to, this $5 piece of trash. They brought to take down our billion-dollar mogul. We need him. I'll point my son to him and say you can be whatever. But you got this bitch.
I want you to think about this. Sean Carter is responsible for enacting Hype Williams to put Aaliyah on a faulty plane to move her out the way as punishment for rejecting him, and so he could level up Beyonce, who was struggling.
Family, let me show you why my live went the way it went last night. Because I had to listen to this before I came on.
Who has presidential connections and is federally backed on a profit deal. You don't think the FBI has somebody in the tech department that could put that little thing together in a couple minutes?
For content purposes, family, I gotta listen to this bitch.
Diddy's attorney says.
But family, I can't listen to her. She grind my gears. If you a follower of mine, you already know how I feel about her. This despicable woman. Who will say anything about our best and brightest men and women because she not one of them. That's our problem, family. She not one of them. Those men never paid her no mind. Fuck them. She sing better than Beyonce. She should have been famous. She should have been rich. She should have been able to be with those men. She sing better than Beyonce. Men don't pay to see fives. You a five, Jaguar. It ain't nobody's fault. It's life. It's the way it is. See, men get told this. You see that 5'2" nigga on the basketball court? You see how nice he is? He ain't gonna never get in the NBA. That 7-foot dude don't play as good as him, but he going to the league. It's life. It's the way it is. Men get told that. That's not what women get told. They get told everything is fair. She got to the industry, family, and she seen they got to be able to sell her. You ain't gonna never sell Jaguar Wright to men. Men don't pay to see fives. Women don't aspire to be fives. They couldn't sell you. That's just the way it is. It's life. It's not a problem. When your father was telling you to leave your husband, did he tell you you wasn't going to get a better one? Because I'm sure he was looking at you. He been looking at you all your life. No, the reason you left your husband was because you thought he was the reason those successful, handsome men wasn't fucking with you. If they thought you was appealing, they wouldn't have gave a fuck about that broke ass nigga. They would have been on you. Shout out to the chat.
The allegations are false. The men's attorney.
Shout out to the chat, family. Chop it up, Shano. What's up, Shano? Good. If you ain't subscribed, make sure you subscribe, family. The Shano Chop It Up TV. He be having some excellent content. Thanks for pulling up, family. You know I appreciate it.
Says he was contacted by more than 60 people, but only chose to file these 3 cases so far because he vetted them. I'm wondering if you think we could see more lawsuits of this kind.
Well, absolutely. We know a Houston attorney has said he plans to file over 100 lawsuits against Sean Diddy Combs. He says hundreds of people have come to his office.
Family, this ridiculous. This ridiculous. Guess what, family? Ain't none of them going to get paid. None of them. By the time Diddy go to trial, he going to be broke. He ain't going to have nothing. You know how many financial obligations he got in jail? He can't fulfill them. Listen, they going to get paid. The vultures. The vultures know exactly how to go straight and get the money. All right, y'all gotta go through all these legal processes. No, they got processes where they can hurry up and get the money. By the time y'all start winning these lawsuits, he ain't gonna have shit. They're gonna do them just like they did R. Kelly. Y'all gonna have a bunch of judgments. Maybe y'all think the court's gonna pay y'all. No, this nigga gonna owe y'all. He ain't gonna have it. So all y'all coming with these crazy stories? Listen, the person who was going to get paid already got paid, Cassie. Ain't none of the rest of y'all getting shit. So y'all might as well cut it.
Have contacted his office about rape or sexual assault allegations involving Sean Combs. One thing I think is important, Phil, many of these claims happened 10, 15, 20 years ago, like the case.
She says a friend drove her from Rochester, New York to Manhattan, a more than 5-hour drive. Her attorney provided NBC News with the name of the friend who has since died. The woman says she spoke to Combs's limo driver who offered her a ride to an after party.
I stumbled upon Diddy.
Listen, the friend who took her 5 hours away, a 13-year-old with Alzheimer's, she had a friend who thought it was no problem to just come get a homegirl who was 13 years old and drive her 5 hours away to Radio City in New York City all by herself She from Rochester, country ass Rochester, and drove her all the way to the big city and dropped her off all by herself and left her there. And coincidentally, that person happened to be passed away. That is no way to check that. But if dad was living, the lawyer could have just called dad. You think he didn't call dad? Dad told his ass, look, that didn't happen. You can't believe shit my daughter said. She had autism. All right, but you know what that lawyer did? He ran to the courts and filed that suit because it ain't nothing a white woman can say against a black man that everybody won't believe, including black people. Black women like Jaguar Wright, who can tell you herself about the stories that white women made up against black men until it don't support her narrative. Soon as it don't support her narrative, she'll forget all about that shit. Because that's the kind of chick you dealing with when you listen to Jaguar Wright. All right, she a drug addict and an alcoholic. And that shit ain't doing nothing for her. She a miserable person, family. That's what happened when you lonely and you sick and never got yourself no help. Family, I can't sit around and listen to that because I know it's a bunch of lies. And I know who believe it. A bunch of people just like her. She figured that out. Family, I love my brothers. Okay? When you make up a story about them, I feel it because I'm a black man and I know what it's like to live in America, being my color. I'm that black man that a police told me out of his own mouth. There's no such thing as a black man standing right here minding his business. It's no such thing as a black man minding his business to a police officer. There's no such goddamn thing. Of course you've done something. He just need to find out what it is. So no, when he look at you, he think you've done something. He don't think you minding your business and not bothering nobody and just living your life. Because in his mind, it's no such thing as a nigga who ain't done nothing. He got the same mindset as a Jaguar Wright. In her mind, it ain't no such thing as a nigga who was just minding his business, doing what he's supposed to do. No such thing. Only the kind of niggas that come around her, the lowlifes. The lowlifes, because they the kind of niggas she can get. She can get lowlifes. Niggas she got to take care of. Niggas that ain't gonna never sponsor her. She ain't gonna never live the life of a Beyonce or a Rihanna. Ever. Because when you were 5, you're not gonna get that. And the kind of men who would provide it for her, she would think she was too good for him. Trust me. Trust me. She thinks she should be able to get the kind of men Rihanna could get because she can sing better than Rihanna. That's what she believed. She believed she should have been entitled to Rihanna life because she sang better than Rihanna. It's show business. They got to be able to sell you. You know how hard it is to sell a 5 to men? You're not selling men a 5. They don't pay for 5s. Kevin Samuels told you a long time ago, you get third shift at the plant. You just don't like it, so you don't believe it. All right? It ain't nobody's fault. It's just the way it is. Okay? I would love to be able to charter a chick from Switzerland who just hit me up on my DM. I ain't built like that. See, Jay-Z built like that. I wish I was could live like Jay-Z, but I can't. You think I give a fuck? I love my life. All right, I love my life. I've been in the winning circle. All right, not on that level of winning, but I've been winning. Trust me. You feel me? I ain't mad at nothing, family. They bring this bullshit against black men. All right, and they think they can tell us anything. All right, I love y'all, family. I love my family. I love my people. You ain't gonna never bring this shit to me and think I ain't gonna defend it. All right, and I ain't gonna put the lie on display. All right, listen, it don't take much to be good people. It don't take much to trust each other and believe in each other and support each other. And understand that, listen, they don't bring false allegations against their own billionaires and their best and brightest minds running around out here. They only bring them against ours. You know why? You know why? Because our people prove to them time and time again that they'll go for this shit. Like the same people who keep voting for these Democrats. Why? Why? Same thing they trying to figure out. They don't know. Same people never done shit for you but shit it on you. All right. Shout out to the chat. Chat. Shout it up. Shout out Tracy. Thanks for pulling up, Tracy. You know I appreciate your support. Bella Rose. 7 likes, 17 viewers. Hey, thanks for pulling up. Come back. Make sure you join me, Bella Rose. I know why you came over here, Bella Rose. I represent them niggas that never pay you no mind. Stay tuned, baby girl. I'll be back. I love y'all, family. Thanks for pulling up.